only imagine losing somebody that you're so connected to every single day, and then just
So I want to just ask a few. And I can say for me, we did a live record. Well, we did a recording, a project in last year before last, and we're getting ready to do our next one in May. As a matter of fact, plug it in. We're going to be doing a live recording in May. Actually, May the 15th at New Horizon Church International. Okay, I just thought out. So we'll be there May the 15th doing our live recording and videotaping. And I say that to say because for me, Ray was just giving me all sorts of ideas. Hey, man, if you do this now, you got to make, man, he was just like, hey, yeah, I do that because that's what he was doing. Hey, man. Every time it was amen, I knew what was coming. Amen, call me. Because when you do the recording now, you got to make sure this and you got to make sure your lighting is right. And I'm going to tell it. I don't care. So here it is. He was looking at, he would always tell me, he was like, man, when we're doing stuff with the choir and all that, he was like, listen, man. Every man sitting out there ain't saved, so you got to tell your voluptuous women that they can't be wearing this and can't be having this on, and even stuff like that. I'd be looking like, okay, like man, I'm trying to help you, man, because So he was always, keeping me up on that, and I would have to go back and be like, hey, y'all, don't wear that. you can't wear that. So he was always, keeping me up on stuff of that nature. But now, how did you see his impact? Literally, because I know before the men's choir, he was actually directing the choir at one time.
Yeah.
So from being able to see it, how was he integral in outside of the men's choir in just overall music department at New Horizon? How was he integral in it? How did he inspire that situation?
For me, even because there's been times because Raheem wore a lot of hats.
Mm-hmm.
There were times where he was like, "Man, look, I gotta be back in the booth. You gonna have to direct." I was like, "Well, I don't know. I ain't never done, And but he is who pushed me out front, to direct the men's choir, and even our inspirational choir. Raheem, he would lead songs and so forth, and whether he knew it or not, he inspired me to see him doing it because he taught us so much with our voices on how do you do this. It's so many interesting things because I've never considered myself a singer.
Okay.
I may be a choir singer, whatever, but I did pray, ask God, hey, I'd like to be able to sing, whatever. And God has put people in my path that have taught me, and Raheem was one of those persons. Even down to he's like, man, you can hit that note. And I was like, yeah. He said, man, just raise your eyebrows like this when you say it. And I was like, okay, And so now I know when I'm finna hit some kind of high or weird note, if you look at me, I'm like,
Now you gotta to raise your eyebrows like
this. But that note come out right. So, but those stuff like that, it came from Raheem and, singing. And so it just, man, such a funny person. You have no idea the stuff that would go on, when he was directing us and the faces he would make. And, even if he would mess up on something, he would just be like, I'm sorry. We'd keep singing. He was like, my bad. He was like, keep smiling. And we would just be dying laughing. So yeah.
That's major. That's a major impact on the music department. And I know, of course, I know all the band over there. Howard and Chuck and Antonio and Spencer and all the rest of the guys. I know because I actually talked to a few of them, and I know that they were feeling the impact of that. Because again, going back to it, those guys depended on what was going on in that booth too. The musicians, nothing functions
Right.
unless that booth back there is doing what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I can imagine that the musicians and the soloists and everybody who is a part of that are affected. And even it was my understanding that he had told me that he was actually went to go help the rank campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Step play game.
I watched him all the time leave New Horizon, packing his thing up. He had something with some wheels on it. What was in it? But he be go car and loading up and head ranking. Head to the and
That was the camera equipment.
okay. I know.
Yeah, tell us what that was.
That was the camera equipment. We had to go and take the camera equipment from one church to the other church, and it was tough. But with Raheem, you knew you had some kind of a leverage there. You had some kind of a game plan. Like I said, he was the first. He would be the first person over the ranking and setting up the soundboard and setting up the cameras, and he would be checking on me, man, where you at? And he would get over there. He would. And he just loved me. Even as the choir was singing, in the background, he was kind of directing. He'd be back there telling the choir to, move left and right, and his hand gestures. He just, he loved the music. He would help move the podiums and things like that. He was a big part of it. And every facet of it is just.
You reminded me of something when I said that we were at the Horizon for one of the. I'm grateful that like Brother Feely said, at least 2 to 3 times a year we're over at New Horizon.
Yeah.
My choir is, I tell them I'm at New Horizon more as I'm at my own church. But but it was funny because we were up and in my mind, I'm like, we got projects out, we got music on the radio, we're kind of considered a professional choir. Man, I looked up and I'm like, don't telling me. Telling me which way to go.
Right.
Like, rock this way, dude. What you said, he, the other thing, and he didn't eat strangers either. You know what I'm saying? Like he, you didn't have to kind of, warm up to him. And whether you want, he was going to offer you advice.
Right.
He was going to, hey, man. That's why I keep stopping that. He was going to tell you. But the most thing, what I loved about it was, sometimes people offer you advice in a critical, condescending way.
Right.
Raheem's advice was, I just want to see everybody eat.
Love, yeah.
I just want to see everybody better. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do something, I just want it to be the best it can be. And that's an awesome thing. It's major when you got somebody who has that kind of love and who wants to see everybody succeed and see success. And that's why I believe, and I'll say this, I believe that New Horizon Church is better for having Raheem Solid in there.
Yeah. No doubt.
But listen, as great a church as New Horizon is, they're better off.
Yeah.
Because Raheem had his imprint on that church. The music department is better off. My choir is better off. Just because he's been in our lives. Like I said, I'm sitting here now with a show that'll be on every Monday at 7:30.
Little plug.
Yeah, little plug. But I'm sitting here now with a show because Raheem was dropping it in my ear and dropping it in Mr. Garrett's ear at the same time. And so, even in that, I laugh because I'm like, okay, before he got up out of here, he got me a seat. So, I mean, that's just, that's just who he was. And so, and I think, I take, being new and coming into this, taking my cues from Mr. Garrett. Mr. Garrett said, hey, why don't we do a tribute show? Sure.
Right.
You got exactly, so I think that this opportunity, our ability tonight to be able to just share about Raheem, because here's the other thing, there has to be healing, and sometimes the best form of healing is talking and being able to share. That's an opportunity. Exactly, because we've all stated that Tuesday was rough.
Yeah.
And if you're like me, you know, sometimes, and it's probably another show, but you know, sometimes as men, we ain't really trying to be emotional around people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, we walk off, we go to our own corners. You know, we fight that thing, and so being able to actually share and, you know, get emotional is a blessing. And so I think, you know, it's not going to take away the sting, but I believe all of us will be a little bit better tomorrow for being able to have been able to talk with each other, you know.
Yeah.
And again, you know, whenever we think we're hurting, how much more for Sarita? You understand what I'm saying? And and so I have been calling her. I told her the other day, because, you know, I didn't bother her for the first couple of days, but I even told my wife, I said, now, she don't answer tomorrow, I'm pulling up. So we had an opportunity to talk, and when I tell you, even talking to her, she is so strong. You know, just hearing her voice, and so she's strong. And so again, so tonight, even though she could not, you know, understandably vocally or physically be here, the fact that I know she was in favor enough of the show to even be watching says a whole lot. And we're just so excited about the fact that she allows us to share in her husband's legacy and memory, even to the point that she doesn't know this yet. Breaking news, our whole recording in March is going to be dedicated to Raheem. We got our whole recording. Like, she doesn't know. Let me tell you something. Sarita Saladin has been if not at least one of the most faithful choir members I've had over the last 3.5 years. She would literally come to rehearsal, stay to rehearsal, and say, okay, I got to leave because I got to go help Raheem get on or whatever. And so, and the thing, and I understand that she couldn't have been this faithful without his support.
Right. Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of husbands be like, you ain't going nowhere. I'm thinking you stay here. Talk about some doggone choir hustle. You ain't going no choir hustle. They ain't gonna be just fine. So the fact that he encouraged her, you know, go to rehearsal. Y'all got something coming up. Y'all got something to do, and that's simply because he wanted us to be the best we could be.
Right.
Because there was this sense of, my wife up there.
Yeah.
Like you know, my wife on this album. My wife, and so he was just like, man, just sitting there watching, and when he would be in the audience, I would just look at him, and he would just be not only in all the choir, but in all his wife. You know what I mean? And so that May 15th is gonna be for Raheem Saladin. We're that recording that night, that video, everything that we do when we release that first single, all of that, we're gonna let him know how much we appreciate the support he's given us and our choir and our ministry. So so that's breaking news right here tonight on the inaugural show of The Doors of the Church Are Open. We're dedicating that whole recording to Raheem, and we're gonna put some amazing stuff together, even in that, as a tribute package that night. So we're really going to be excited. We're really excited about that. So a couple of things that we want to make sure that we acknowledge and that we do. And again, we want to thank Mr. Socrates Garrett and Believe Digital, We Believe TV, for allowing us to have this night where we celebrate Raheem. That's just amazing. And as a matter of fact, joining the show, welcome to the Doors of the Church.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much. I was sitting there and just got overwhelmed with the things that were being said, and I feel so much sadness and so much joy associated with what I'm hearing about Raheem. It's so sad for us to have lost him at such a young age and so unexpectedly. But then the memories and the things that you guys are talking about just made me get up out of that seat and say that I needed to say a thing or two about that. And Raheem was, we were so dependent upon Raheem. When we studio, Raheem was one of the people that said, I got content. I'm going to bring content on, get it going. I'm going to bring content. I sure do miss him. So, but things happen. And I've has said on him many times that sometimes he just don't understand and he can get about things. And one of those he's gotten mad about is the loss of people that were so important and so instrumental in making New Horizon Church the church that it is today. And so, I just wanted to say that. And, my nephew-in-law over here, Felix Walker, I watched him grow with Raheem in the church. Just tell this story. One day, Felix was an usher, and Felix, they had roped up in the church where you wasn't supposed to sit. And so my seat where I sit every Sunday, roped. And so I walked down to go to my seat, and Felix put up the and stop, hold it. You can't sit here and move around. I said, Felix, you're taking your job too serious, man. But, he has grown so much, and I'm so proud of him for the family and the saints that they are and how they hold the teachings of Bishop. It just makes out and warms my heart to see young folk grow away and take their natural leadership role. And they did that with the assistance of Bishop Crudup and you, Pastor Stuckey.
And as you said, Mr. Garrett, Bishop is watching right now. So definitely shout out to the Bishop Ronnie Crudup, the pastor of New Horizon Church International, and as we already stated, one of two preachers who, if they call me, I'm coming.
Right.
One of two now. One of two. Again, that may be another show. I ain't two. Let's be clear.
Yeah. He's special, and he's supported. And let's give a shout out to Sister Jacqueline Crudup, the
Amen.
mother of the church,
Amen.
and the role that she plays, and keeping the bishop straight. So that he can keep the rest of us men straight. Bishop has got a church full of women, but he is a man's preacher. And he just grow his men ministry so bad. And every Sunday you can see him reading, calling for men to show up and to be counted for and to be heard. So, we appreciate that and love for that and love the influence that he's had on Raheem's life, etc. and the rest.
Absolutely. As I stated at the beginning, one of the things I can say is coming from Dallas, being a knucklehead. Bishop still, welcomed me and saw the gift in me. And I can remember that being such a pruning and ground for all of us. And again, Raheem loved New Horizon. He loved Bishop Crudup. He loved the ministry. He loved his work that he did at New Horizon. Listen, he loved his work because he was there.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it would literally take Raheem probably being in the hospital not for him to be at New Horizon.
Well, did he ever, who put up the scriptures when Bishop would be preaching and things of that nature? Somebody had them all around. That you, Dale, you had to put those scriptures up, and he keeps moving from one chapter to the next and talking about it. I said, whoever's in that box doing that, they got a job to keep up with him, And so, all of those guys, the work, Dale, that you do in that box, make that thing go and work. It takes talent and dedication to do that. And so I know Bishop to be here tonight because he had meetings with other churches. He said couldn't make it, but he certainly said that he was going to reach out to the folk that are in this room and make sure that they come by and say a word.
We definitely want, and again, having had so many one-on-ones with Bishop, like you said, I can attest, and I know for a fact that because Bishop's hard to beat, I know he's feeling, and Bishop has the job of having the bone, and people don't understand. Pastors, we have to be strong in front of the people because they lean on us, they depend on us, but folks don't understand when we get behind them doors, we're hurting too,
right.
and it's hurtful. So I can imagine Raheem has been with Bishop, good grief, years, and so I can imagine any loss hurts, but there are some losses that just hurt, and we're not only again praying for the family, but we're praying for the church family. We're praying for everybody because we mourn the loss of stars and basketball players. When Kobe Bryant died, I thought it was like he was my brother, and so if people that we've never met can impact our lives like that, even the people that never really sat down at New Horizon with Raheem, impact. So there are people who filled it, who never even had more than 2 conversations with him. And sometimes we don't understand how people can have that, but with your life, like there are people that I may never meet that may have heard a song and they impact your life. So, we can just imagine the impact that this had on the New Horizon family, folk that just come in and, like you said, know that the sound, and when Bishop said, hey, turn me back there running back and forth, or when the mic went out there, somebody got to run.
He just was very important in everything that was going on. Pastor Stuckey, we're coming to the close of your first show, and I want you to tell the people a little bit about yourself and the things that they can expect to come in the coming weeks. I heard you and your brother sing a song when we had the meeting about George Floyd's murder, and I've never heard anybody do a rendition like that. It was really amazing. And so you must have a real talented family if that was your brother singing with you.
That was my brother doing the rap, and leading even into that, Bishop Crudup called me, and he said, hey, we're doing this prayer at the at church, day of prayer at the church. And I said, Bishop, I was supposed to be out of town. And, he said, okay. And the thing sat on me for about 2 minutes. And I took, and so I called him back, Doc, I'll be there, Bishop. And so he didn't have to say a word. It was like the thing started on me. So I said, okay, we'll be there. But then he said, well, I want you to do this song.
What was the name of that song?
Glory.
Glory.
It was called Glory, right. So my brother did the rap part, and I did the singing part, and it seemingly blessed a lot of people. And so, I'm just grateful. But I'm Pastor J. Artie Stuckey. I'm a product, an initial product of the New Horizon family. And then by way of Holy Ghost Baptist Church in Clinton. That's why I said there ain't but 2, Pastor Gary. If it ain't Bishop Ronnie Crudup or Pastor Jimmy D. Burris, they go to voicemail. But them 2 I'm answering. So, but I've been pastoring now since for the last 16 years, and I've been in music. I'm 43 and been in music for 33 years.
Wow.
So God has just kind of blessed me to be able to have favor in those particular areas in the music and the ministry area. And so folks can be looking for just real authentic talk, authentic conversation. We're going to talk about, when they say the doors of the church are open, we're really going to open the doors of the church. We're going to discuss things that you may not be able to just sit in the sanctuaries, but they're really affecting the kingdom, and they're affecting Christian life. So we're going to have some guests, and we're going to be real. And we want to let people know that you come back to the church. You're able to just be talking about those real life issues coming. And so everybody's going to pay attention because the doors of the church are going to be open.
All right. Well, I want to thank you again for bringing your message, Believe Digital Podcast Studio. And we look forward to seeing you every Monday, so you can close us out in any way that you like, Pastor.
Well, let's thank everyone. We shared this video on Facebook. We sent it in our messenger because guess what? We want everybody to, first of all, go Believe Digital Podcast on Facebook and like it, follow, because this is content here, not just me. But we definitely want everybody to join us every Monday here at 7:30. And I told you I'm from Dallas, so I need all my family, all my Mississippi family, all my family to join us here on Monday nights at 30 for some thought-provoking church talk. And we'll open the door of the church. So we love you. Again, we're praying for everyone, even for the losses period. We're believing God for miracle and your blessings. So we look forward to seeing everybody next Monday night.